real estate industry friends, happy Friday. And first of all, welcome to eXp Realty's Level Up live stream. We are streaming to you anywhere you are via YouTube channel 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as part of eXp's mission to help elevate you, your life, your business, no matter where you are, what brokerage you're with. We welcome you. We call today's show the kickoff to Fire Friday. We call it Light Work. And it's your weekly energy practice. My name is Curtis Dixon. I'm the Senior Vice President of Agent Development with eXp Realty. Like you, a real estate entrepreneur and on a path to make personal and professional progress. So I hope you're here for that today. Want to give everybody a warm welcome. If you're watching us on the YouTube live stream, please be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, invite a friend, share the link, make sure you can get access to the YouTube anytime we go live. And for all of our family in the eXp World Metaverse, when I look this way, that's what I'm doing. I've got the Metaverse pulled up here over on my other screen. So I want to just acknowledge everybody who made today's session a priority. Missy, Amanda, Andrew, Angela, Angelica, Brenda, Chad, Chase, Chelsea, Dennis, good morning. Derek, Desiree, welcome. Frank, John, Josie, Judy, Karen, Kristen, Marty, Larry, Marianne, Michael, Melissa, Sarah, Ricky. It might not have hit everybody. Sonia, Shima, Tiffany, Tatiana, Wayne, Randy, Candace, Amy, everybody, good morning. Happy Friday. Thank you for being here, everybody. If you're a regular at this session, you know what we're about to do. Hi, Emily. I see you on YouTube. If you're a regular at this session, you know that every single Friday morning when we go live, we're going to give you a chance to complete some prompts to get your mindset moving in a new direction today. So we kick off with morning mindset prompts. The first one that's on my mind, and I'll tell you the story as to why it's on my mind in just a minute, but the first one is transformation, a big, heavy, huge opportunity if you really take the next 60 seconds to pause and reflect. And I know I've got about a 50-second lag in our metaverse, but I can see the YouTube comments live. So do me a favor, everybody, get real engaged in the comments today, at least for the first few minutes, because we've got some work to do and we're really going to take advantage of this transformation prompt in the next 23 minutes together. So I want you to complete this prompt. Be bold. Share your answer in the chat box. The transformation I'm going through right now is from blank to blank. We're all going through a transformation. If you want to stop and recognize it, that's the first step to actually catalyzing it, making it go faster and happen on purpose. The transformation I'm going through right now is from blank to blank. I want you to fill in the blanks for me, and that's going to set you up for what the rest of this conversation looks like. Transformation I'm going through right now is from blank to blank. Try to grab a couple of words for each blank, fill it in. Even if it feels a little scary, even if you're still a little foggy this morning, if you're just kicking off, try to complete it. We're all going through a transformation right now. We want to bring some awareness to it. Woo! There you go, Deborah. From slug to superstar. Let's go. All right. I love it. All right. The next prompt is about creation. So if we're going through transformation, there's kind of two ways we could go through it, right? We could go through it passively. It's just kind of happening to us. It's happening at us. It's happening around us, right, Marguerite? Or we could take control of it and create the transformation we want in the time frame we aim for and end up at an intentional place, right? End up somewhere we got to on purpose. That's a beautiful thing. So in order to do that, we need to update the thinking a little bit, upgrade the thinking a little bit maybe. So the thinking I need in order to create the reality I want is some hard work this morning. Try to complete the prompts. If you're bold enough to share with us in the comments, we'd love to see it, feel it, hear it. I already have a list of 2, 4, 6, 12, about 16 feelings that would come from new thinking just in the next 20 minutes or so. So if you're here for that, maybe you need to end up inspired. Maybe you need to end up clear, focused, seen, reminded, connected. We'll get to some more feelings, but it's going to start with what you think about in the next 20 minutes. I want to move from a loss of passion to passionate. Woo! I want to move from transactional to transformative. Let's go, Fee. I want to move from burnt out, Kristen, to fired up, from Montana to Florida, literally. All right, let's get you there, everybody. And please make sure that you make Fire Friday a part of your weekly routine. We kick it off every Friday with light work. We call this your weekly energy practice. So honored to be with you all. When you show up at this session to kick off, You're typically going to get a special guest or a special message. You're going to get a little story, little strategy, and a message of support. So let me show you how we build this agenda. When we have a guest, we prepare, right? As you should for anything you're about to do in life and in business. So we prepare typically a couple days before the session. And when that guest and I sit down, I want you to actually go through this process a little bit with me, because this is going to help you create, this is going to help catalyze that transformation process that you just decided you were in the middle of, right? If you go through this flow with me. So the first thing that we do when we're preparing a guest for this show is we give them the questions, right? Because it's really helpful to get clarity from some structure, right? So if you want to get clear on something this morning, if you want to get focused on something this morning, if you want to get inspired around something this morning, you need a little structure. So I want you to try and use this structure. Pretend we're in a studio together, just like we are, right? I'm sitting in my home studio. You're in the metaverse studio. You're in the YouTube studio. We're sitting together. My first question to you is, give us a version of your best life right now. Give us a version of your best life right now. So what that requires you to do, Fee, what that requires you to do, John, is you've got to stop and assess what's actually going on in my life right now. Literally for a moment, everybody pause and look at your environment. That's something that's going on in your life right now. Is your setup optimized to make you feel inspired? Have you put time and attention and care into designing the space around you so that you get the energy that you want? Or is that something you need to get to right now to support that transformation that you're going through? Maybe expand a little bit bigger. Think about what's going on in your home, with your family, not just your space that you're in this moment. Expand a little bigger. Think about what's going on in your business. Think about what's going on with some of your personal and professional relationships. Think about your peers and partners, people that are leading you and people that you're leading. Bring some awareness, stop and recognize that that is a part of your best life right now. Now, how many of you already use the language that you're living your best life? If I asked you, are you living your best life right now? You'd say yes. If I asked you how you're living, you'd say living the dream. Yes. What's different about the answer yes from the answer no? Just what you think. It's right here. It's in between. It's how you view what's going on. You might be in pain, and you might be thinking that that pain is a problem and not an opportunity to get better, an opportunity to get to the root of the pain, an opportunity to learn how to do something you've never done before. Or if you're just simply not aware and you haven't stopped and paused, stop and pause, realize there's a version of your best life going on right now. Look around, pay attention, and see who's involved in it. Again, this is what we'd be doing if we were preparing together. So I want you to prepare. And somebody give me a yes in the chat box, in the comments, or even better than a yes, tell me a couple of things going on in your best life right now. Tell yourself, write it down. What part of the story are you in? Are you at? I was listening to one of our rock star guests coming up here in just about 25, 35 minutes in the agent leadership meeting yesterday, a man by the name of Jay Kinder, top producing real estate agent, just top thought leader, great dad, great father, all around amazing person. And Jay was fired up. Jay was what I would call inspired. He was hopeful. He was clear. He was ambitious. He was renewed. He was passionate. And Jay was passionate around who he is and what's going on in his story right now, what he believes the impact he can make, is making, wants to bring to other agents in our EXP family, other agents in the real estate industry. Jay was focused on impact and helping people and serving. And with that came all the feelings of inspiration, clarity, focus, hope, all the stuff you might be looking for today. And again, whether he knows it or not, he's probably going through a transformational moment, just like every single one of you are right now. But the beginning of catalyzing that transformation, going faster, because that's the message I've got for you here in the next 15 minutes, making it go faster, smoother, and more powerfully. That transformation starts with bringing some awareness to your story right now. I see people typing in the chat box, filling it in. I love it, everybody. Let's drop the slides off. I'm going to kind of keep taking everybody through this process as if we were preparing today. You can see what question number 3 is. That's what I'd be asking myself if I were interviewing myself today. Curtis, how do we catalyze transformation? That's a mission that I'm on. That's a direction that I'm going and have pushed further and further. Just checking a chat here, everybody, making sure we're good and on track. So let's drop the slides here off the screen if we can. If not, I'm just going to keep on rocking, no worries. But we're talking about catalyzing transformation for the next 10 minutes. And I hope you're ready. I bet you're ready. I've got 3 steps for you on how we catalyze transformation, how we go from that here to there. 3 steps. And I want you to do me a favor. Once the steps sink in, give me an indication that the steps are in. Give me an indication in the chat box here in EXP World, in the metaverse. Give me an indication in the comments in YouTube if you're watching the stream. And let me just double check that we're making sure all the technical stuff is working. We're good. John's got some stuff flowing in here. Josie's got some stuff flowing in here. All right. I feel like we're still on track. Something to know, and I want to just welcome and acknowledge everybody here in the EXP Metaverse and welcome all our YouTube watchers as well. But if you're here sitting in the EXP World in the auditorium, you could probably tell if you're a regular attendee that we're innovating our approach to Fire Friday. We're innovating our approach in the agent leadership meeting. We're innovating our approach to light work. We're doing something a little new, a little different. We're pushing some boundaries, trying some new stuff. What you're going to get every time you show up here is a team of people behind the scenes and out on camera, out on stage, committed to bringing you massive value when you invest your time on Friday mornings. We're going to help you drive your personal life forward and your professional life forward. And that's what we've got queued up for you today. But if you're experiencing any technical challenges or things going on that are out of the ordinary, just let us know in the chat box. Let us know in comments. Send us a workplace chat. We've got really about a team of 6, 7, 8 people behind the scenes working on the production. So shout out to the team that's putting it together. And thanks everybody for participating in the chat box. That helps me know that technically we're still rocking. So back to catalyzing transformation. I told you I've got 3 steps. And when a step hits you, you've got an aha moment or recognition. I want you to let me know in the chat box. Step number 1, it's kind of a toolkit. It's like a checklist. What are you doing to develop ruthless self-knowledge? Ruthless self-knowledge. That means, what are you doing, reading, consuming, trying to learn more about yourself? Are you having conversations with friends and family members? Are you reading books? Are you taking assessments, learning more about your Enneagram or learning more about your personality profiles, your motivators, your behaviors? Are you learning your love language? Are you studying your family's history? What are you doing to learn more about who you are? Are you spending time journaling, reflecting, writing down your gratitudes? Are you asking people? Do you have a mentor? Do you have a coach? What are you doing to learn more about yourself? See, that's stack 1. And oftentimes we get it confused with stack 2. You know, stack 2 on the checklist, I'm going to give it to you in a moment. That includes consuming a bunch of new knowledge to deepen your skill set, right? To elevate your tool set. But when you're going to work on yourself, it's a different kind of quest. It's a different pursuit. So let me ask you, give me a rating in the chat box or in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I absolutely know myself inside and out without a shadow of a doubt. If you ask me who I am today, right now, I stand up and say it proudly. That's ruthless self-knowledge, rating 10. And a 0 is, I don't think about myself very much at all. That's a 0. I don't think about myself very much at all. 0 to 10, where are you at right now in your ruthless self-knowledge pursuit? And if you're anywhere below sort of that, let's think about NPS, Net Promoter Score. If you're below a 9 or 10 or an 8, 9 or 10, like we all are, then you're not a promoter of yourself and you're not promoting the fact that you are deepening your self-knowledge regularly. So if you've got that 7 or below, then we've got some, where do I start for you? Okay. So where do you start? The first question you ask yourself is, who am I? Who am I? First question. And if you can't get a few bullet points flowing pretty easily to answer that question, if you got that 6, if you got that 7, who am I right now? Take an inventory. Just pull up some questions, take an assessment, take a quiz, just get started. And then another great way, and I'm just going to tell you something that like rocked my world about a week ago. It was amazing. I'm a father of three, pride of my life. My son, Jackson, 14. My daughters, Taylor and Annabelle, 6 and 7. My wife, my queen, Megan, my best friend in the world, 23 years together. And they gave me this book last week for my birthday. And it just was a whole book of things I love about dad. If you are curious who you are, ask your closest circle, ask your most trusted people, ask someone to fill in this book for you. My son filled it in, my wife filled it in, and I was crying. There's about 30 pages, 35, 40 pages. I mean, I was crying by page 3 or 4. Because it's just what people think and love about you. We don't always stop and look for that, to take that in and consume that. And on the flip side, remember, you can do that for others too. So you can pour into people and you can say to Carter Merklinghouse, PhD, that you are super clear. You are brilliant. I see you and I know what you do and how you show up for your family and your business every single day. Congratulations. You can say to Fee, I see you. You're passionate. I see you bring that everywhere you go. That is you, right? Like that stuff you can pour into people as well. But for you to get some awareness, stop and go get it. So ruthless self-knowledge. Give me a yes, an emoji, something in the chat box that lets me know you're going to go to work on that. If that's something you need to go to work on, you're going to go figure out more about who you are, what you want, and who you must become. Who you are, what you want, and who you must become. And a lot of times, you know this stuff if you just stop and reflect, if you just give yourself a pause, if you just try to write it down. You absolutely know what you want. You absolutely know where you're going. And if you've lost it a little bit, there's lots of ways to get clear. Try some meditation, a couple of books, and some writing for about 2 weeks. You'll have some clarity. It just takes practice. You just try and get it. All right. So ruthless self-knowledge. Vanessa's here for it. I love it. Welcome. Angela's given some good emojis. That's all I needed. Let's go to piece number 2 of catalyzing transformation. We're talking about catalyzing transformation. That means going from where you are to where you want to be faster and with more power. Piece number 2. And I'm going to give you kind of my nerdy Curtis term for it, what I call it, and then I'm going to simplify it for you. So I call it a change model. You need a model. And a model, it's funny, the word might be complicated, but I'm going to take you back to like 5th grade, 3rd grade science fair. What is a model of the solar system? Just a visual representation of the sun and the planets. You can get a little fancy. You can be really simple. It was probably styrofoam balls and some spray paint for most of us, right? Or a volcano. That's just a model of a volcano. It's a visual representation of something else, some other concept, right? That's all a model is. Okay, so a change model would be your visual representation of what you're going through, right? I have things like this sitting all around my office where I've got them filled out and I've got these models for myself that are going to catalyze my transformation. They're going to help me go from where I am to where I want to go. And it's something I'm so focused on in my life, in my business, for my family. And I challenge you to get hyper focused on it too. Bring some awareness to the transformation and then catalyze it. Before we unpack number 2, I just want to do a quick pause. Want to welcome everybody. If you're just joining us live in EXP World's Auditorium right here in our metaverse, happy Fire Friday. Welcome to the Level Up live stream. We are going through what we call light work, your weekly energy practice first. And then we have the agent leadership meeting coming with unbelievable value from top leaders and experts across the EXP family. This is open to any and all agent, regardless of brokerage. We're here to elevate and serve and support the whole industry. Thank you all for being here. We're coming to you live on YouTube as well. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And make sure you invite somebody to the YouTube channel. I got a message. I think it was from Ali. Shout out Ali Puentes if you're listening. A top agent here in the EXP family, got a message from her last week. And she said, thank you for making sure as an agent while I'm sitting at the airport that I can jump onto the YouTube stream and get some Fire Friday. So shout out Ali and thank you. Share this with your friends, share this with other folks you're in a relationship with across EXP. Make sure that if you're driving to an appointment and we go live, with some value, some inspiration, some mastery, some motivation, some knowledge, some training, whatever it is, you can get notified. So that's why you turn on notifications. Okay. So we're talking about transformation, catalyzing it. We're going through a checklist. Number one was ruthless self-knowledge. Number two was a change model. If change model is too nerdy of language for you, you're not going to remember that. A visual plan. Just have a plan for how you catalyze your transformation, how you go faster and do it more powerfully. How you feel ambitious is to have a visual representation every day of your favorite tools and resources. To know without question what podcast you're going to turn on. To know without question which book you're going to pick up. Right? I couldn't even choose the book I wanted to pick up because I've got so many books. I've got this book right here, Turn the Ship Around. I carry it with me everywhere. I've got this written down on my papers, visual references to turning followers into leaders. True story. Thank you for the book gift, friend of mine, Judy Slack. So that visual representation, that plan of your tools and resources. What do you use? Who do you work with? Who do you connect with? That helps accelerate that transformation for you. And then, whether you believe this or know this or not, almost all action is preceded by some emotion. Almost all action. We rationalize the action logically, right? That was our plan. We were going to do that. That was on the schedule. Of course, I did that. You've got some logic there, but almost every action begins with some sort of emotion. It might just start out as a feeling. It might be a habit that's kicked in from your brain, and some emotion is triggered because of your thinking. But emotion usually triggers action. Now, the bigger the emotion, typically the bigger the action. They're connected. So part of your visual plan, your transformation plan, or your model, if you will, has to be some way you get inspired, right? Maybe it's you open up your business dashboard and you check your pendings and your listings and you check all your visual data because you're data inspired. Well, that creates a feeling of competitiveness or excitement or belief or whatever it is. And then you go to work and do your thing. Maybe it's how you start your morning and how you create the feeling. Maybe you get the feeling that comes from exercise and you love that. That triggers all of your actions. So you start your day that way. Maybe you need to just read something or hear something. Maybe you need some peace and some space. If you've got a house full of kids all day long and a schedule full of showings and listing appointments, and you just need some place or some space, right? Or maybe there's a way you get grounded. Maybe you like yoga or meditation. Either way, how do you find inspiration? How do you start with an emotion so that it can drive you to the action that's going to transform you? Last but not least, and this one's tough. We don't have much more time to unpack this specific piece, but how do you, where do you, or with whom do you do the deep work? Who asks you the hardest questions? When do you ask yourself the hard questions? How do you reflect? How do you get your thoughts out? Who challenges you? Who holds you accountable? How do you feel acknowledged? When do you look in? Had someone say this week, I wish I looked in or reflected daily and not just weekly. Well, if you're reflecting weekly, congratulations. You are catalyzing your transformation massively with that cadence. Now, what would happen if you did that daily? What would happen if you deepened that practice around change, progress, growth, and transformation, made it a daily thing instead of a weekly thing? Last but not least, in the change model, in the transformation checklist, ruthless self-knowledge, we've got the change model. And then last but not least, you need to put on a new set of lenses. A new set of lenses, right? Literally, I was hanging out with a cousin of mine, my brother-in-law actually, and he was wearing some 80s blue blockers. And he said, man, the sky looks totally different in these sunglasses than modern sunglasses because it was a different set of lenses. Shout out to Candace and Beth, who are backstage ready to come on to kick off the agent leadership meeting here in just about 3 or 4 minutes. Everybody, for just joining us, welcome. Happy Friday. You're in the right place for the agent leadership meeting. We're wrapping up what we call light work, a new set of lenses. That starts with some statements, everybody. I'm going to give you 4 prompts that you get to go do the work on and complete. This is some of the deep work. Complete them with more than a couple of words. Write them down. I am. But don't write who you were up until this moment. Write who you must become to complete that transformation. I am. The next one, I help. Don't write down who or how you've been helping up until now. Write down who or how you will help to complete that transformation. I help. I achieve. Don't write down what you've achieved to date. Write down what you must achieve to become the person you want to become to complete that transformation. I achieve. And last but not least, one of my favorite ones right now, I create. Don't write down anything you created up until now. Write down what you will create, must create, what the world needs you to create. Bring that transformation into existence, everybody. Thanks for hanging out on Lightwork. I've got one final message of support for you. We do this every single Friday to kick off Friar Friday as part of eXp Realty's Level Up live stream. Coming up in just about 3 minutes is the Friday Agent Leadership Meeting. We invite you and any of your friends and family in the industry to come be our guest, hang out with us live in our eXp World Metaverse campus, hang out on YouTube, come get the inspiration, motivation, and knowledge you need to be inspired into action every single week. My final message for you is remember who you are. You already know what to do. I want to thank you all for hanging out with us for Lightwork. We're going to take a short break to give everybody a moment to get ready to come on for the Agent Leadership Meeting. We'll be back with you to introduce and kick us off shortly. You're in the right place. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. See you soon. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, eXp family and real estate industry friends. Happy Friday and welcome to eXp's Friday Agent Leadership Meeting. We do this every single Friday. We're broadcasting live to you on YouTube around our Level Up initiative, our mission to help elevate you anywhere you are, elevate your mindset, your skill set, and your tool set. So thank you for being here. If you're joining us live in the eXp World Main Auditorium, our Metaverse campus, want to say thank you for being here. Make sure you come back to the Friday Agent Leadership Meeting. I see William in the house. Good morning, William. And one of the things going on right now that we all need to do more of is we need to do more lifting and supporting each other. And this week was such a great example of how the agent family across eXp Realty rolls. We were planning for these Friday sessions every single week in advance. This week, we decided to call a little audible, and we started inviting folks on Monday morning to get in here on Friday. And people were saying yes, left and right. We've got a jam-packed Friday lineup for many weeks to come. Today is so exciting and an honor to welcome a top producing icon agent, rock star leader, amazing human, Beth Silverman, and our fantastic eXp University director, Candice Garcia. Beth and Candice, welcome. Thank you for hosting the Agent Leadership Meeting. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Curtis. Hi, Candace. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Good morning, Miss Beth. I am so excited to be here with you this morning because today we get to introduce two of EXP's amazing all stars. We're going to continue to encourage us to level up, and we get to talk about something that's near and dear to both our hearts, EXPCon. I'm so excited to be here with you today, Beth.
Same. EXPCon, if you've been living under a rock, or maybe you're just really busy because the market shifted and you're working in your business, but registration is open for EXPCon Vegas, October 11th, my birthday, through the 14th. And I want to talk. I'm so excited for the opportunity to be here because I think it's so important for agents to hear from an agent perspective of why these events are so important to attend.
Absolutely.
So, if you're a seasoned veteran and you're like, the limiting belief that maybe this conference just isn't for you, I want to challenge you. Wouldn't you agree that to activate your prey drive, your deepest human potential, that exposure to high level achievers and leaders is one great way to do that? So, I want to tell you a
Absolutely.
story. At Shareholders, there was part of the Premier Pass, there was a leaders luncheon. And I had the pleasure on day one of sitting next to Elizabeth Riley, happy birthday, and a mega broker who she had partnered with. I was also sharing the table with Matt Rohr Gardner, who has a team in the Panhandle. There were one or two newer agents and an amazing lunch. And at that table, the conversation and collaboration was so next level that I walked out of that lunch and I said, wow, that lunch alone made the Premier Pass worthwhile. So I want to say that to you guys, but you know me, I'm a solo agent and I have a big heart for the new and green agents. And I know some of you guys out there might be struggling and you might be saying, Beth, I want to go, but I just don't know how I can afford to pay for it. So, do you guys know that EXP knows the importance of you attending and they want to help you? So, there's a payment plan, and this is what you do: you spend $250 to secure your ticket, and then you have until September 13th to pay off the rest. And I want to talk to you guys for a minute because I was you. I was there. I was a newer broke agent, and I get it. But when you go to these conferences, the relationships you will make will lead to referrals, and you will take
Yes.
home at least one strategy to employ
Yes.
into your business, whether you attend a general session, whether you attend X Camp, any breakout session, or the
Yes.
small intimate masterminds that happen in between the events. So if you left EXPCon and you got one deal as a result, wouldn't that commission pretty much pay for the entire experience? And if so, wouldn't that be worth it?
Absolutely.
I think it's so important to make the investment in yourself and in your business. And if that's not enough to really make you believe that this is the truth, right now I have 13 referrals. 4 are outbound, 9 are inbound from EXP agents. Y'all know people work with people they know, like, and trust. Agents refer to agents they know, like, and trust. So, how in a vast sea of almost 84,000 agents do people know that I'm an investment specialist on the Gulf beaches? Because I go to these events, because I participate in everything I possibly can. The opportunities that this brokerage has provided for me, they're your opportunities too. And all you have to do is engage and participate. I truly hope that I am going to see you guys October 11th. And let's talk about rooms because the room discount will end on September 9th. And I know I heard a little birdie that some of the staff is at Luxor and Delano. There are overflow hotels. Now, if you're like me and you like to wear heels to these events, I know Renee Funk is shaking her head because she's taught me to carry sandals. But if you're like me and you wear heels, your tootsies will thank you if you stay at Mandalay Bay. So go ahead and book that room today before the main hotel sells out. But again, if you're at Luxor or Delano, they're both such gorgeous hotels. You can't go wrong.
Absolutely. And you can always walk with me and the rest of the staff no matter where your room is, right, Miss Beth? And folks, if you're here, you're getting a little nervous about it, you want to make sure to get that pass in. I don't want you to forget about our August sweeps. So, starting Sunday, August 7th, this Sunday through August 13th, if you register for a general attendance pass, you have an opportunity to be entered in to win a free upgrade to a Premier Pass. So you've only got between August 7th through the 13th to get in that ticket. Make sure to go on Sunday, purchase your pass so that you can be entered to win for that Premier Pass so that you can hang out with Miss Beth and all of the other Honey Badgers and Rockstar agents, right, Miss Beth?
That's like as cool as it's cooler than being upgraded to first class. It really is. Because if you've never been premier at one of these events, it is spectacular. The VIP lounge, it's just a great feeling to walk into it. But I have to say, anyone who's attending this event, we're all lucky just to be there. That's how I feel.
Awesome. All right. And if you're just joining us, welcome to Friday Leadership. My name is Candice Garcia. I am the director of EXP University. I am joined by the amazing icon, mentor, agent, Beth Silverman, and we are talking all about EXPCon. Now, Miss Beth, thank you so much for giving us an overview of the agent experience and why our agents should be there, why they need to level up their business by showing up to EXPCon, right? I can tell you at the staff end, we are looking to bring the most impactful training and education that EXPCon has ever seen. So if you're excited to join us for masterminds, for live workshops, for certifications, and for the most amazing breakouts that we've ever put on, you've got to get your ticket in. Now, one of my most favorite things about our live events is X Camp. I know that this is very much your jam. I had the great honor of helping you all with it this year. Tell us more about X Camp and all of the exciting things we can look forward to there, Ms. Beth.
I think the thing about X Camp is you're never going to really understand what it is. You just have to commit to showing up. I want to put out a message to my fellow icon agents. I know you guys might be thinking, what? We're talking about X Camp. Why does Beth want to send out a message to the icons? So I've been fortunate enough to attend X Camp since my first live shareholders, which was 2019. And I was just an attendee who showed up and I saw all of these Post-it notes and I was like, what's going on? And before you know it, I grabbed GoGo. If you don't know GoGo, she's my sponsor here at EXP. And I grabbed her and I volunteered her to lead. I shoved her into the room and said, you got this. And before you know it, it was standing room only. And here's GoGo gifting away her social media. And it was such a great experience. And then before you know it, people were racing down the hall because there's Brent Gove. And it was such a packed room. People were just lining the hallways. And I was like, what is this magic? But I want to send a special birthday request because it does fall on my birthday this year to the icon agents. So icons, please hear me when I say, I challenge you to show up at X Camp. And here's why. You guys are teaching some of the most incredible fire level up classes in EXP world. I look at my calendar every single week and I'm so blown away by what you guys are doing. And we know the magic of the chaos of X Camp is that people put up what they want to be led on. And then there's leaders who kind of, flow through the crowd and say, oh, I got this topic. So imagine if what you guys have been gifting us in EXP world, imagine that live collaboration in a room with up to 300 agents who are hanging on your every word and vibing with you. I have gotten the opportunity to be a leader at X Camp, both virtually and live. And I will tell you, again, the relationships, the referrals, how it's grown my business as a leader, as a participant. So to everyone out there, whether icon or not, I want to see you. And also thank you, EXP. I just saw that X Camp is 12:30 p.m. on the 11th.
Yes, you can now sleep in before coming to X Camp. Isn't that great?
I think it's because EXP University and Renee Funk don't want to see me without coffee and a banana. at 6 o'clock in the morning. But thank you so much. 12:30. What a new level of excitement that's going to
Yeah.
bring to X Camp. So again, it is my birthday wish that I see you all there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for giving us a really good example of what that X Camp experience is like for our icons, for our instructors. Tell us a little bit about what X Camp is like as an attendee. If I'm going as a brand new solo agent, what can I get out of X Camp?
It is wild. It seems wild. And I don't want to give too much away because I just want you guys to come. And P.S., you
Great.
do have to register. So
Yes.
registration, because last year in Vegas, I think there were like 7,000 of us, and the rooms got very full very quickly. Wear your sneakers, be comfortable for X Camp, you guys, because there's a lot of running around. But I want you to know that what's so cool is you imagine being able to design the conference. You get to choose the topics that you want to learn about, and it's not just like teacher student, it's a collaborative session where the more you participate, the better. And X Camp, I believe the X Camp crew, we're just a bunch of phenomenal agents. Elizabeth Riley, Renee Funk, Jeffrey Funk, Keith Bliss, Jill Liebernight. I can't believe that I'm surrounded by Cheryl Hauk, such incredible volunteers.
Yes.
And we're just working to make the experience better every single conference. So without really saying too much, just know that Tuesday, the 11th at 12:30, follow all the signs because there's a million signs to X Camp. If you are an icon, we're always looking for more volunteers. So, and we get really cool t-shirts. I wanted to wear mine for this, but they said no words. So.
And I need to get one for next time. So I understand. Well, thank you so much, folks. If you are interested in a life-changing experience, make sure to get your tickets to EXPCon and don't forget to register for X Camp. You'll see both Beth Silverman and myself there holding those signs saying X Camp. So make sure to pack your run-in shoes and we will see you there. All right, coming up next, we've got the amazing Amy Weaver, who's going to be talking to us more about the upcoming sprint.
Here, and I am here to tell you today about the upcoming sprint event. We have a sprint event that's going to be held for the month of September, and how it works is you have 30 days, and we're going to have 2 countries, 135 total winners. So 90 total in the US. We're looking at the East, the Central, and the West. The first 30 of you guys to get 3 frontline agents in the month of September are going to qualify to attend the sprint event that's going to be held in November. Also in Canada, 45 of you guys. So the first 45 to get 3 FLAs will also have an opportunity to have a chance to go to the sprint event. Again, that's going to be held in Canada, also in the month of November. So locations to be determined. So be looking for that. But we are so excited to be able to spend this time with you. You're going to want to be a part of this amazing event. We're going to have something special for you at EXPCon. And also, you guys, it is your chance to spend some time with the top level executives at EXP in a very small setting. And also with the top influencers at EXP, really get to know their secrets. They're going to share with you and give you all kinds of tips and tricks. And we're going to mastermind and spend quality time together. We can't wait to see you at Sprint because I know you're going to win. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Amy. That was fantastic. And really, thank goodness for Sprint. At the Nashville Sprint, Jay Kinder, who we have coming to the stage very shortly.
Yes.
I remember Jay, that is where he first heard our coach, Coach Burt, speak. And Jay said, man, I got to hire you. And I'm so grateful to Jay, to our fearless honey badger leader. A lot of people might not know this, but Jay and I will both be celebrating our birthdays at EXPCon.
How exciting.
Yeah, so if that's not reason enough to buy your ticket, I hope this is. Please give a warm EXP welcome. Get out of your seats for the head of the Honey Badgers, my friend, my mentor, Mr. Jay Kinder.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Good morning, Jay. Excited to see you here. Welcome.
Awesome. You guys hear me okay?
We gotcha.
Right on. It's good to see you guys. Good to be here. So what I want to talk about today is the opportunity that this new emerging market is brought on. And I love it when there's change in the marketplace because it creates opportunity. One of the opportunities that we have is to add value to agents' lives. One of the things that I've done since I came to EXP 5 years ago has been focusing on how do we help agents get into production? How do we help agents do more deals? That's really what agent attraction is all about. And here's the numbers. Over the 5 years that I've been here, in 5 short years, I want to implore you to not only learn the skills that you need in order to do more deals, especially in this upcoming market, but also learn the skills for how to properly attract agents to this company. And the easiest way that we have found to do that, and the short time that I've been here, and this may sound like a large number, but about 135 agents that I've personally sponsored in the company. That's only 2 agents a month. What that's turned into for our organization is over 9,000 agents here at EXP. And the central premise of everything that we teach is duplicatable systems. It has to be something that you can duplicate. And so you can build a huge organization here, but it's going to be the process that's going to be what gets it done. So let me start with the simplest thing that you have to learn how to do is find out what someone's trying to do. If you want to help an agent that wants to grow, you got to find an agent that wants to grow their business. And you just have to understand one simple thing. Hey man, what are you trying to do? Something we learned from Coach Burt was just a simple introduction to a conversation, and then let them talk. Let them tell you what they're trying to do. From now to the end of this year is what we call recruiting season. And that means agents are going to be scared. They don't know what to do. They're maybe not getting the training, the things that the access they would have at EXP. And all you have to do is get good at one thing, and that is inviting. Okay. It's not about selling them on the company and trying to explain the stock and trying to explain revenue share. It's all about understanding what are they trying to do, and then how do I add value to them? So the challenge that most people, I get on calls all day, every day with agents that are asking about agent attraction, and I'll give you a couple of quick resources and to learn the skills. Number one, there's a book called Building an Empire. That book is by Brian Carruthers. The book really lays out the whole formula for what we've done to try to grow an organization here within EXP. It's a great resource. I highly recommend it. And on top of that, we built some training that we're going to give you access to. You can go to agentattractiontraining.com, and you can go through all of the training that we created around what has worked for us to attract agents to EXP. But I really want to implore you to leverage inviting people to level up, because right now agents are open-minded where they weren't open-minded to change. Things were good. There wasn't any fear in the marketplace. But now today there is, and maybe agents are a little concerned. Maybe you're a little concerned about what things to do. These level up trainings are really ways for you to invite people and add value, and then ask a simple question. Whenever they come to a training, you can invite to, there's a few things you can invite to. I want to make sure that that you are coming to the live events. Number one, commit to come to the live events. Big decisions happen at big events, and you want to invite to those. You want to be at EXPCon. You have to be at shareholders. You have to be at Build that's coming up in the next in the next month, actually less than 30 days away. Commit to coming to the events and commit to getting yourself to those events and getting your people to those events. I can't tell you how many people have came to one of the events and the light bulb goes off and they decide to focus on agent attraction. We're going to help everybody with production. We're going to help everybody with training and the things to do to grow their business. That's where our focus is going to be. But when they shift to deciding to do some agent attraction, that's where your group starts to grow. And the best and easiest way is invite them to live events. So if you can get people to these live events and get yourself to these live events, that's going to be the biggest catalyst for growth that you're going to have in your organization. We see it time and time again. The other things you can invite to free trainings. It is very easy to have a conversation with somebody that is trying to grow their business and you offer them something free. There's no sales involved. You don't have to be great. You can just, all you have to be is enthusiastic. It's like, listen, I've got a training based on everything you told me. There's no question that this would be amazing for you. I've got a free training that's being done by my company. Would you, if I was to send you a link, would you want to come join in and at least, some of the free training? That's a really easy way to have a conversation. Nobody's going to say, well, no, I don't want to learn anything, right? Not if it's based on what they're telling you their goals are. But inviting people and adding value is the easiest way to attract EXP. It's not about trying to sell people on moving companies. It's about creating community and adding value to people's lives. That's really the philosophy that you have to have if you want to be good at attracting agents to EXP. So make sure you're inviting. You can invite to live presentations. If someone in your group's doing a live presentation, that's another invite. and inviting to watch the video is another process that works. But learn how to invite and just be genuinely curious and interested in what it is they're trying to do. Tell me what you're trying to do, and what are your concerns? Hey, I've got something for you. And that's going to be the easiest, most duplicatable way to grow an organization at EXP. It has to, if it doesn't duplicate, it doesn't matter, because if you can't do it and everybody that you bring into the company can't do it, given a presentation and trying to explain EXP, which is much harder to do. Let the video asset, let the environment at events, let that do all the heavy lifting. The skill that you have to learn really is just how to invite. And if you learn that one skill, you can build an enormous organization at EXP. You can continue to do your production and focus on doing those things that are bringing you transactional revenue. But the opportunity here is incredibly unbelievable. It's like nothing in the industry. And like I've always said, if you can get 50 people, you can get 500. If you can get 500, you can get 5,000. You can get 5,000, you might be able to get more than that. So it's going to grow if you focus on that process and that system. Now is the time. Agents are going to be more open-minded than they have been in the past. Make sure that you're doing something daily. You can't change your life until you do change something that you do daily. So daily conversations where you're inviting to the live free trainings and all the access and things that we have as tools where they're getting value. And then the follow-up is easy. Hey man, what'd you like about what you saw? What did you like about what you saw? That's the key to that next conversation. And then the last step in the process, which is really, really simple, but a lot of people miss this. And I did over 1,000 three-way calls my first year, more than that the second year, and I still do them every day to this day. But three-way calls, bring them on with someone else to answer their questions. And someone in your organization that you should know, or look on, go log into your EXP revenue share, look at who's in your top 7, and make sure that that you're leveraging that to those folks to do these three-way calls, as opposed to trying to answer all the questions yourself. That's the simple process. You can learn more about it at agentattractiontraining.com. I hope you enjoy that free training for you. And make sure you're coming to these events, you're coming to these trainings yourself and polishing those skills. And so now we're about to, here in a moment, we're going to introduce one of my good friends, one of the top trainers, real estate trainers in the industry. He's a honey badger as well, but I've known him for probably the last 3 or 4 years since he joined EXP. And he's going to talk a little bit about, we're going to talk back and forth actually a little bit about what's working, what to expect in this new emerging market. And then Nolly Williams is going to be sharing some tips for you guys as well. So let's welcome Nolly Williams up here.
What's up, Jay? How we doing, buddy?
Doing good, my friend. I love seeing you, man. It's always a great time to spend with you. Now, Nolly, you've been with the company how long?
I've been here 3.5 years. I used to count my months, but I'm getting off edge on that. But yeah, about 40 months I've been here.
And you have how many agents now in your organization, Nolly?
So right now I have 320 as of yesterday. And I got to tell you, man, I had zero intention of joining EXP. I was going to be a lifer at Keller Williams. I was recruited to Keller Williams by Gary Keller. And man, oh man, am I so happy that I saw the light, bro. And I'm happy to be a honey badger, bro. Is this the honey badger show today or what? What's up?
So yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say has been the thing that's worked the best for you and your organization in terms of the focus around how you've attracted so many agents and you built such a large organization at EXP?
It goes back to what you said earlier, Jay. And whenever you hit the mic, it's like it's like fire coming out. You can't help yourself. And to contain you in 5 minutes, as I know, is a feat. But what I learned, the big thing that I learned, Jay, was that, man, when I first started, for about 2 years, I did it the wrong way. I did it my way. I thought I was Sinatra. I said, I'm doing it my way, fool. Watch me work. And I came in and I thought, okay, agent attraction, man, I'm Nolly Williams. I'm about to blow it up. But I didn't get good footing until I followed the 4 simple steps. This is what Brent Gove has given us as a legacy. 4 simple steps, Jay. And so, man, I just started following those 4 easy, simple steps. And not only has it helped me to really grow the organization, but it's also helped me to help my go deep. In other words, help those that are with me to grow as well, because the steps are easy. You can be anybody and do them.
Right. No question about that. Follow the
Yeah.
process, follow the process, follow the process. I think as entrepreneurs, because we all are entrepreneurs, we all tend to want to change things up and kind of do things our own way. I did the same thing
Yeah.
when I came over to EXP, and lo and behold, before me, Rob Flick, Brent Gove, all these guys had figured out that there is a mousetrap. There is an easier way to do this. And then there's the hard way. And so doing it the
Absolutely.
easy way is going to get you the results, and adding value to people's lives. That's the basis of everything. And approaching agents where they're at with production. Agents aren't coming
Yeah.
over because of rev share and because of stock, and they're coming over here because they have an A to B problem, right? I'm here and I want to get to here. And for the most people, that's going to be focused around production. And so we have to be able to show them how we're going to help them with production. That's why they're going to join. That's why they're going to stay. And then we show them the opportunity side and the other side of the business that they have the opportunity to pursue or not pursue. Some folks don't want to pursue it, and that's okay. But you want to make sure that they're aware and that they at least know that this is an opportunity and that there are skills that can be learned for you to do it properly, right?
Absolutely. And it's so refreshing, Jay, that you keep the main thing the main thing. It's so easy to get distracted. There's a lot of agents that are wondering, like, who moved my cheese? Okay. Now, I just recently moved to Puerto Rico, and my wife and I harvested some bananas. Okay. And we hung them up. Some of them were getting a little bit ripe. Okay. So I had these crows coming up to my back porch, picking on my bananas. So what did I do, Jay? I moved them. I moved them to a spot where I can enjoy my bananas and these crows won't be destroying my crop. Well, lo and behold, man, the crows keep coming back. I'm talking about days later, and they're looking around for bananas. I'm like, look, somebody move your cheese, buddy. You got to go find it somewhere else. And so we have a lot of agents out there that are that way. And it all starts with helping them to grow. I'm gonna share some tips to help you. If that's you, if you're like, hey, somebody moved my cheese, it was easy before, I want the easy button back, I'm gonna share some tips there as well. But also,
Awesome.
like you mentioned, Jay, there's an easy button with agent attraction. And it's there on your website, man. So don't reinvent the wheel, guys. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Absolutely. No, this is a new market. 10 years, we really haven't seen, some agents maybe have never had to get a price reduction. They
Right.
maybe never had to talk to a seller and get them to price it properly in a market that maybe is changing with inventory going up, with pending ratios going up. So
Mhm.
what is the thing that you see that's most important right now to attack this new marketplace and really be successful?
Yeah, Jay, I call it an emerging market, an emerging market. Whenever the market shifts, and it will always shift. In fact, it should have shifted before now. Okay. There are certain things that were at play behind the scenes that kept the market propped up. But really, markets do shift about every 7 years. Sometimes they take a little longer, sometimes it's less than that. But like you said, Jay, if you haven't been in the real estate game for 10 years, you may have never seen a market like this. I remember, and you remember this, Jay, that we would take a listing for 6 months, okay, and it would be on the market for 1, 2, 3 months, and it was no big deal. It was just that's what it was. It was you had a lot of inventory, out there, and so I remember sitting out we had these prefabricated campaigns where we would have them go out for 6 months with, weekly canned email messages. And we just scrapped that when the market shifted. But now the market is emerging differently. And so I'm going to give you a couple of tips. If you're there and you're like, hey, I'm going to give you three. Actually, I have more than that, but for the time we have, these are the three big ones. Number one, you have to shift your mindset. Jay, you're big on this. You've taught me a lot about mindset. You hire coaches, you pay to elevate your mind game, because most of us know that success is at least 80%, if not 90% or more mental. It's a mental game. It's what are you thinking? My favorite book for that, to elevate your brain, is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It's a book by Dr. Joseph Murphy, and it's just a phenomenal little book. It's quite a few pages, but it's a really good book to understand how the mind operates and get a hold of success in that area. Super important that you get your mind game right. Why? Because if the market is down, here's what I tell people, Jay, and you know this. When the market's good, we can make a ton of money. Okay.
Right.
Now, when the market's bad, we can make double that. In a
Yeah.
bad market, there are so many opportunities, man. And so I love markets that are off, if you will.
Right.
Okay. So number one mindset. Number two, you've got to start leaning into listings. Okay. That's going to be my new, I wrote a book called Success with Listings. It, became a bestseller because why? Because I took over 1,000 listings my first 10 years in the business. People wanted to know how I did that. So I wrote the book on it. And I tell agents all the time, Jay, you've got to lean into listings. That's when you become a listing specialist, it doesn't matter what the market is, people are always going to have to sell, period.
Yep.
Okay. And then the third thing is you've got to master a niche. Okay. You've got to pick something that there are actually 8 emerging niches. I'm going to be doing something with EXP University where we'll do a training class on the 8 emerging niches that you should be looking at in the listing side and how to generate free seller leads for those. So that's coming soon, but make sure that you have a niche, whether it be probate, whether it be for sale by owner, or it might even be divorce, whatever it is. Make sure that you lean into listings and pick a great niche and elevate your mind to get it to that next level. And the last thing I'm going to say is don't forget agent attraction. That's the number one spoke on the wheel, baby. Number one.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the let's talk just a little bit here about some of those emerging niches, because there's 2 things that I want to say. Number one, become the market expert. Like you absolutely have to be the market expert in this market. And there's a few tools that I use to do that. Number one, keeping current matters. Number 2, if you Google this, you can find it. I think it's the monthly realtor.com report on house sales across the country. The reason I love keeping current matters is because it's the 10,000 foot view. It's what's happening on the macro level. And then you have to also know exactly what's going on, because there's no one real estate market. Every marketplace is different. So you need to know the data that's going on in your marketplace. You have to be the expert. You have to know if inventory is going up. The one thing to watch that I pay attention to in every market and every price bracket of those markets is what's the pending ratio? Is there more inventory coming on the market and the pending ratio is going down, or is the pending ratio going up? What we're seeing now is the pending ratio is going down. That is a telltale sign. And the good news is in this marketplace, everyone has equity for the most part, unless you bought in the last year or two. Everyone has equity. They have the ability to reduce price. And what happens in a marketplace like this is people that have to sell, that are motivated to sell, are going to reduce price. And if you're not on top of that, and you're going on a listing appointment and you're not, and you don't have frequent communication after the listing, because there's going to be houses that reduce, there's going to be more listings that come on the market that change maybe the approach you need to take with that particular seller. The days of no inspections and the days not having to do some staging and some of these things and still getting 22 offers are going to be long gone. So you have to change and being the expert and making sure that you're consistently communicating to your clients as well.
That's good stuff, man. And it's so important what you're saying, because when you get used to playing the game a certain way, you think that's just the way it's played. But in reality, what's happening is, Jay, the rules are changing. It's the same game, but there's just slightly different rules. Like you said, you've got to be more informative to the seller. You've got to stay up on, you've got to do your job. You got to be on point, on task. Because the reality is, man, when, as real estate agents, some agents act as a commodity, but those that actually go above and beyond, all right, and look at the data, look at the reports, keep their sellers informed, they're the ones that are actually referred. They actually get a lot of referrals, because let's talk truth here. The reality is clients know the difference, man. Clients know the difference. And when you endeavor to become the best at your craft, that's what Jay's talking about, then they're going to say, wait a minute, I've sold 3 houses before. This is a different experience. This gal is up on top of it. She's contacting me every day. It comes to the point before, there's certain kind of agents, Jay, that they're afraid when the seller calls them in a market like this. because the
Right.
seller's gonna call them and bog them out like, hey, what are you doing? What are you?
Yeah.
But my sellers are typically afraid when I call them. They're like, oh, here comes Nolly again. Why?
Yeah.
Because you're ahead of the curve. You're ahead of them. You're the
Right.
expert. They shouldn't be calling you to find out what's going on. You should be
Right.
calling them. Yeah.
One
Good
of the
stuff.
things that after 07 and 08, where I got literally my butt handed to me, my inventory went from like 100 listings to 200 listings. That sounds like a good problem, but it really wasn't. And one of the things that I didn't have in place because I wasn't ready for this was making sure that I had an agreement with the seller as to how we were going to review the marketplace and how we were going to make decisions in order to accomplish their goal. It's always about their goal. But that was something, a system in place instead of me waiting. And so expired listings is going to be an opportunity because what most agents that are not seasoned are going to do is they're going to not answer the phone when that seller calls, and then they're not going to answer it the next time, and then they're not going to answer it the next time, and then that house is going to ultimately expire because they didn't ever make a reduction in price. That the seller was never educated as to what was going on, so they may think that oh, it's just the market or whatever, but those are opportunities that didn't really exist, and for sale by owners could sell no problem. Not so much today. So like these are free sources of business that if you learn these skills, you can really become super successful and start to build a listing inventory. Like you're saying, Nolly, the strategies around getting listings. If you get listings have babies. People that buy a house, they have a house to sell. The neighbor down the street sees that you sold a house, and they call you because they want to sell. Buyers call because you have signs in the yard and marketing that's out there. So invest your strategy in the listing side of the business. And the easiest way to learn the skills of how to articulate the value, which is one of the things you said a minute ago, Nolly, is to make sure that you're practicing on the free business that's out there to go get. And so, this is where it's an effort. It's a thing that if you put the effort in, the results can be literally $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month in commission income from free sources of business that actually help you build your brand in your marketplace. So certainly that's going to be something that if you want to learn those skills, that's going to be two opportunities that I think are going to be really valuable in the next 18 to 24 months.
Yeah, but it does go back, Jay, like you said, to education. You becoming educated and then educating the seller, because a lot of sellers are still living in candy land. They're in la la land. They're in fantasy land, and they still think that the market that was is the market that is, and that's the market that ain't.
That's right.
And the reality is that, if you listed after May, you're experiencing a different market, maybe even after April. And so that's just, and it's not a bad thing. It's just, it just is,
Right.
There's three types of sellers, Jay, and you and I teach this. There's sellers that want to sell, there's sellers that need to sell, and there's sellers that have to sell. And I always like the sellers that had to sell. I found out what their motivation was. Man, why do you absolutely have to sell this house? Once I knew that, man, I got the job done for them. And you have to constantly remind them of why they're selling, right? So there's so much, Jay. You and I might have to have another discussion on this, just for maybe for the 100 badges and open it up to everybody.
Well, they can look for us in Level Up. We're going to be doing some classes in there and adding value to you guys. So hopefully you'll get to tune in and join that. So I think we'll kick it back to Candace and Beth here and let them take it from here.
My goodness, Jay Kinder, Nolly Williams, that was fire. Thank you, gentlemen, for your grace and for the way that you show us how to lead with value through your actions. Every time you speak, we learn. It is such a blessing to just be able to be in business and be surrounded with you guys. You really set the bar so high. Thank you so much. I hope I see you guys in Dallas in a few weeks, and I will certainly see you both in Vegas in October.
Absolutely. Thank you all. And thank you for letting me hang out with Honey Badger Nation today. I hope I'm an honorary Honey Badger now. Beth, Jay, and Nolly. Hey, Beth, and before we go, one last announcement that we want to make sure. An important reminder we don't want to forget, folks. How many of you want to, after all of Beth's, my, Nolly, and Jay's talk about EXPCon, about Level Up, and about the amazing education that we're bringing, how many of you want to go to EXPCon? How many of you want to win a ticket to EXPCon? I know you do. So as we mentioned,